welcome back to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha. This is a pick a card reading to find out an important message for you. I've got 6 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the 6 of Pentacles. Group 2 is the Ace of Cups. Group 3 is the 4 of Swords. Group 4 is the 8 of Wands. Group 5 is Judgment. And Group 6 is the 7 of Swords. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice. Otherwise, I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And check out the information in the description box if you'd like a personal reading. This reading is for you if you chose the 6 of Pentacles. And if you chose the 6 of Pentacles, I want to say somebody's getting a job soon. And it feels really important for you. You're going to be so excited when you find out. It feels like enough money for you to get what you really need. Like enough for you to have a roof over your head and food. And maybe some slightly better clothes, like just not having clothes that are outworn. Like I feel like someone has some shoes that have holes in. And they're your only shoes. It's like your coat has holes in it and it's your only coat. And you've been trying to get enough money to be able to even think about replacing the shoes. That's coming soon. It's like a paycheck. And then another paycheck. Then you realise, hey, I can afford a hat and some shoes and a scarf and a coat and my rent paid and some food. It's not like £1 million or something. Like you're not winning the lottery, but you're getting enough that you're not going to be homeless or begging or desperate or needy. It's more like you feel maybe under-rewarded for how much hard work you have to put in for this job, but also at least you're in a better position than others. And for you, I do feel like you're going to find it really easy to be very grateful because you can remember being in a position where you didn't have anything. You're going to be able to remember a position where you thought, what if I don't get a job within the next week? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to have enough for food? Because of all of those feelings, it's going to be really easy for you to not go back to that kind of life. Like you're going to take it very seriously if you get a job or if you have an opportunity to do something to make money. I'm seeing you do it very well, and you'll be very humble about it and not wanting too much, not asking for more than the salary is. Like you just take it and say thank you. And I'm hearing for someone with your job interviewing, for you to get the job, you just have to not be begging. Like don't be begging for a job. Don't be desperate. Don't be looking down on your luck. Try and come looking really clean with clean hands to a job interview. Just demonstrate what you could do and why you'll be worth the money. Like basically you just need to demonstrate why your skills and experience are worth the amount of money you're going to be paid and how you're going to be helpful for the employer. Because at the end of the day, they're not helping you by giving you a job. It's more like a mutually beneficial relationship where you do something for them and they do something for you. So you're going to go to work and do the hard work, and in exchange they're going to pay you every month or every week or every day or whatever. So it seems very fair. It seems like a fair exchange. Someone else, I feel like you're begging and you don't realise that your begging is not going to get you anything from anyone. Like you may be trying to beg the rich and the rich don't give you anything because they kind of know that you're not actually maybe needing it as much as others. And they might give their money to others. And I also feel like you're trying to maybe beg from other poor people and it's like you don't really realise that that £5 is their last £5 and that little small £10 that they have in their savings account is their £10 in their savings account. It's not like £10,000. Even if it was £10,000, they might be saving up for a house deposit because they spend too much on rent otherwise. And I feel like you should just not want from them and their pot. Like there's no reason for you to beg at the end of the day. If you do want to offer your services for money, people would be not bad feelings about that. Like if you say, hey, I'll paint your house for $150, someone might say yes. But if you just ask for $150, no, I haven't got $150. It's coming across like someone's trying to prostitute themselves. You're maybe a male prostitute. You're trying to get money from men and you don't really realise that they're not really into it and they probably would prefer a woman and they probably would prefer to not pay as much as you want. And also I just don't really think that it's a good profession for you. Like the universe is just blocking you from whatever you're trying to do. It's just give it up, homie, and stop it and go and find somewhere else. And I feel like you've already got a home and you're like pretending to be homeless or something. It's just really embarrassing, whoever's doing that. You're never going to be rich. And someone you used to be rich and it just didn't go very well, and you're still richer than most people, but you're just not grateful. And I do want to say there's lots of people in this group where you might just not realise the haves and have-nots in society. Maybe you're not in either category, like you're not quite having enough to help the needy, like you can't help other people. Maybe you don't have enough money in your savings to, maybe you don't even have enough to like pay for a personal reading with me, and you're one of those people that complains that your reading doesn't resonate or something. But it's kind of like you're getting missed, maybe because you're rich and you don't pay for readings, and my energy's like, I'm giving to people who actually need readings and they can't afford them. I feel like that's maybe where you're at in society. Like you're asking for help from people who would help, but only if you were more needy. Like you're not needy enough, you have too much to be asking for help. And then I also feel like you're not really having enough to be maybe having as much as you have. Like for someone, you're maybe on like a low salary and you have a Cartier watch and you live with your mum. I'm gonna be honest, it's like a weird impression you're giving. Like you're walking around the ends, and it is the ends, and everyone's homeless and on universal credit or living in the projects and getting food stamps or whatever it is. You're there, Mr. Cartier watch, looking like a rich man, and you don't understand why they keep asking you for money. It's because you look rich, but you're not rich, are you? No, you're giving the wrong impression to people, somebody, where you want to look rich. You want to look like wearing the latest designer. And actually, you just need to look clean and put together in a way that's like a nice, clean black scarf and a black jacket and some jeans that are not ripped and some clean closed-toe shoes. It's kind of like a not really, you don't need to have the Cartier watch, no. Like it's not going to help you in life actually, and you should just sell it and maybe get your own place and move out of mumsies. Because it's honestly like a bit of a disconnect between some people. Like some of you think you're rich because you've got your first paycheck. And it seems like a lot, and I'm not mad at you, like it's sweet if you want to buy like a BMW. When that's your goal in life, like, I'm not going to be mad at you if you want to buy a Beamer and you live at your dad's. You're saving every paycheck and every pound to pay for that Beamer. Like, fair enough if that's you. But also you might want to look at other people in society and other people who drive Beamers, and maybe by the time you do that, you won't actually want the Beamer that much. You might think, I don't want to be homeless ever and I might need to buy a house. Otherwise, I might be sleeping in my Beamer if my dad can't afford his house. It just feels like there's someone who, you're moaning about money as well. There's someone who's not thinking they're rich, but you think you're really poor. And it's not that you're not having a bit of a financial shortfall, but I think you're comparing yourself to like Kylie Jenner and people like Michelle Obama or someone else who's kind of rich. And I'm feeling like it's a bit difficult for you to realise that you're not as poor as you want to make it seem to yourself. And if you walked around your neighbourhood, you'd find people who don't have trainers on and they have like their feet out and they're homeless and they're just walking around with bare feet that are dirty and they don't even have a coat and they don't have any money for anything. So I feel like if you looked at someone else, you would find that you actually should feel really rich. And rich for you might just be you have your house paid, or you have a house to stay in, you have food in your belly, and your clothes are not like so ripped that you're freezing cold. I want to say that's basically as good of a life as many people will ever get. And I'm sorry if that's really upsetting because you want to be a rich list millionaire. But I just feel like for someone who's got money in the collective, it doesn't bring you happiness. Actually, like you like your nice clothes, you're really grateful to not be sleeping rough anymore. Like there's a certain amount of money that did bring you happiness and does bring you happiness. It's like the amount that you need to have the kind of life where you just don't have to stress about your own financial situation. But I don't think you're like a billionaire or whatever, but you might be getting to the point where you're like a millionaire and the money's kind of becoming like stressful. Like the thought of becoming a millionaire is giving you a panic attack, and you're starting to want to give some away because you feel like it's like too much and you feel like it's unfair and you feel like you shouldn't keep it. I also feel like for somebody that may be good advice, like you shouldn't hold on to it. It's good to keep spreading it around. Especially if you're older and rich, like at the end of the day, you can't take it with you when you die. Someone else who's rich, lovely man who has, you're a tall man, you're strong, you've got like a large physique, like you're tall. You have a bit of a belly because you eat well. You've got a nice set of clothes. There may be somebody who's like a tailor who you should probably decide to go to more often or go to. Because they'll help you feel really good. You're going to feel your best if your tailor just like nips you in at the waist a little bit. Like you've got very big shoulders and you're very tall and you have to order a larger size. And it's just like very small areas where it's not quite fitting as well as it should. This tailor or seamstress is going to nice you up. Like she's going to take in the belt loops area and make it slimmer so it fits your waist. It's like the kind of waist hip area. She's gonna take in the thigh so you look slimmer, and it's like for you have a bit of a self-conscious feeling about your belly. You really shouldn't, because there's somebody you're gonna meet soon. They're not very well off. They're not very well. Like she's very skinny, she's a woman, and she's quite poor. She wouldn't say she's poor, she'd just say, oh, I'm having a bit of a money issue right now and I'm just between jobs or something like that. She would be very humble and stoic about it and a bit too proud to beg you for help. Like, no, I'm fine, I'll just eat rice and beans like I always do. No, you don't need to buy my meal for me. Like, say her card doesn't work and it's declined at the supermarket, you might just offer to buy her food for her. That's the kind of thing that you do, sir. That means you should be rich forever and forever and forevermore, and this lifetime you will stay rich, my good sir. Do you know what? It's because you help people and you don't even try, and you don't do it for narcissism. You don't do it for attention, you don't do it for brownie points. And you also, very importantly, you know who's the beggar? Like that guy who's like, spare some change, mate. And he's got a scrumpy jack in his hand. It's alcohol, but if you're not from the UK. He's drunk and he's stumbling around. And he's gonna spend all the money you give him on alcohol. You might just decide to not enable his addiction, and that's really good charity. Like you just didn't give charity to the charity case who's not deserving charity. But instead you gave it to the person who seems like they're fine to others, because they're not asking for help. But actually you see their card declined, and you know they're making a face that's like, oh no, I'm not gonna eat today. I'm not gonna be able to eat. You just come in like, hey, let me pay for that. And I also feel like the benefit with this one is that woman's very, very, very attractive for you. You're going to find her so attractive and she's going to find you even more attractive. I shouldn't say that, but you'll be able to tell. It's like she's so happy to meet you. She's like really excited. She might have met you before, maybe. Or she might already like you, like maybe you're famous. Are you famous? I feel like you might be a little bit famous. In certain circles, you're famous. Like, people who've read your book know who you are, or people who like your music know who you are. Maybe you only have like 1,000 people that like your music, but she's one of them. And she's going to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you. Or she's going to be like, oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't know how I was going to eat. And she's going to give you a hug and like love your big body. She's going to love your big body, like your big, strong shoulders and your belly. Oh, she's never going to want to let you go. Oh, you're so cuddly and lovely. Oh, no, she loves you. She's going to be so grateful. You're going to get a really happy response from her. Just be careful, because I feel like there might be someone else who's like, oh, mate, can you pay for my shopping as well? And he's not needing it. Like, he's just pretending to be needy. And also those of you who used to be poor but are going to get a job that takes you like, hey, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor kind of category, where you're like, hey, I'm just like everyone else and I have as much money as everyone else. Yay! For you, you're not going to fall for the con man either. Like, can he have some money for crack while you're trying to buy McDonald's? No. Can he have some money for crack? Or are you saving up for your best friend's birthday present? I think your best friend's birthday present is much more important than that man's crack cocaine. So I feel like you guys are going to be able to get out of a difficult situation, some of you. This long-winded reading. I'm sorry, I don't know why they come out like this at the moment, but they do. I feel like I have to chat to individuals just on a one-to-one basis sometimes. And I feel like there's someone who's maybe going to have a change of life experience that's very significant, and it's deep and it shows you something. For somebody, it's like you went from having almost enough each month to having not even slightly enough and you're really noticing the difference. It's like maybe you used to complain about your job not paying enough, and it's just that you couldn't afford takeaway and taxis and things like that, and you couldn't afford your hair and makeup done. But you could at least afford your home and your food and your car maybe, or something. And it's like you're going to get enough money still that you can afford your food, but you can't afford your home or car anymore. And you're going to feel like, what? Like, what? No way. How am I going to cope? The reason why that's happening is because you need to try and get something else, like a new job. Don't stress, but just be really grateful for what you have. Try and be grateful. Try and think, yes, I'm going to be really grateful. If I can adjust my budget to just be able to afford rent and not sleep outside in the streets or something. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. There's some karma and balancing happening. So make sure you're doing the right thing according to what you need to do. Don't beg. Don't scream. Don't ask others for help. Just offer your services. Try and do a good job. Try and keep the flow of money in circulation. Like, don't keep on too much that you don't need, and also save enough that you need. Don't be short because you're giving it to someone else who doesn't deserve it. And if you do have money, try and give it to the right people. It's really important for your karma. It's very bad karma if you are rich and you don't give any money away. You don't help anyone. You don't even buy like, it's not like giving. It's not charity. If you say pay for a really nice dinner in your local restaurant that's like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith's lovely restaurant. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they don't have that much money, and if you don't eat at their restaurant, it's going to shut down and you won't be able to eat there. Okay? There we go. And it's your bad karma because you'll think, oh, I wanted to eat at that restaurant. How unfair. It's not. It's not. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Please do come for a personal reading if you're one of the rich people I spoke to today. Otherwise, I hope you make it out of the mud, my people. I hope you get the money. I hope you manage to save. Hope you get your job. Someone you're going to be so grateful for the job because you made it out of the mud. And you're going to sleep in your car even if you have to sleep in your car to get to that job every day until you can afford a hotel room or something. Hey, I'm happy for you. You're going to smash the interview as well. Get yourself some sleep and get dressed nice. Make sure you've got a shower, and I really feel like there's news coming tomorrow or this afternoon about a job. Anyway, amazing reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, leave me a comment to let me know what resonated for you. And check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Ace of Cups. And if you chose the Ace of Cups, I'm seeing there's something really important that's delivered from the universe soon. It's something like an idea that's like, hey, this is your idea. And if you act on it, you're going to get a lot of good things happening to you. It kind of leads to other good things happening in your life. If you take the idea or you take the gift from the universe, there's an offer for help that's coming to you or a gift that's going to be received by you. It's something very emotionally satisfying. It will seem really, 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 really big to you, and you're going to want to say thank you. You're going to want to say a huge thank you. You might even cry when you get this gift or this offer. For someone, it could be a proposal. You're going to want to cry and say, yes, of course I'll marry you. It seems really exciting for you. And it seems like you're going to be having a really sweet moment with your partner, even if it's not an engagement or something. For someone, if you're single, you're going to be finding a partner comes in. But for someone else, it's more like a sweet moment with your partner where you talk about things. I'm hearing it could be something practical that they're saying, oh, don't worry about that. I'll do it for you so you don't have to do it. And it seems like a big deal. It's like maybe for someone, it's like they're going to drive you to work every single day. So you don't have to take the bus or something really sweet like that, like just because they want to help you, because they love you. They're going to go out of their way and drive you like 20 minutes so that you don't have to drive 20 minutes or you don't have to get a bus 20 minutes. And it's really sweet and you're just going to be so grateful. It feels really important. There's also something coming through about somebody's work ethic. And it's a message coming through about you don't need to shout and you don't need to try. You just need to present what you present. And do it with the right emotions, like do it because you love it. For someone, it's something like music. And I do feel, again, the energy of you channeling a song. There's like a song that just comes into your head. I've got a few at the moment that come to me. And it's like there's a few words that you can't hear. And you just hear a melody and it's like, na na na, but there's a melody attached. I'm not going to give you my melodies. I'm not going to give you a melody because it's like for you musicians to get it yourself. But yeah, it's like developing in your aura and in your third eye, and in your mind and in your heart. And you don't have to try, like you don't have to sit down and strum at the guitar angrily and get frustrated and find yourself annoyed. It's more like you just wait for the chords to sound in your head and wait until you're in the mood. And then you can just play them, like you can hear that's an E minor, and then there's like an F sharp, something, and you're like, okay, let me try and figure out, yeah, that one, I got it right. And then I meant to strum it like exactly like this. And I have to hit each string exactly in this chord. I shouldn't get the bottom string because it sounds bad. It feels like you're trying to develop your skills as well, and it's not really like you have to try, but that's kind of what happens. Like maybe intentional in your head, like you think, oh, I'd love to get better at playing the guitar or coming up with melodies. And I feel like it just happens for you. It's like you're just naturally allowing yourself the space to do your work, to do your creative practice. And through you doing that, the ideas just come. And I'm seeing that one idea comes and it will not stop. It's like you just can't get out of your head. Like this song that's for you to sing, it will just keep going round and round and round and round in your head until you sing it and put it out to people. So it's really nice if you do get ideas, just know that they're for you, they're just for you, they're a gift for you. You don't need to ever try and steal anyone else's ideas, that's not going to get you anywhere. But yeah, I feel like there's also maybe an opportunity for somebody to use your talents. For somebody, I'm hearing you're like a jazz saxophonist, specific, very specific. And your friend has a wedding coming up, like your friend's getting married. You're going to hear news that your friend's getting married, and also they want you to have the gig as the jazz saxophonist. And obviously you're going to get money, but it's more important to know that there'll be people watching, and like your friends' friends are going to be there. People will be recording it, people will be talking about it. And your friends' friends might come up and say, who's that jazz saxophonist? I want to hire a jazz saxophonist for my birthday now. And then your number's going to get passed out and your details are going to get passed out. And the word of mouth marketing is selling your business, and you're going to end up not realizing that you could turn your jazz saxophone into your business. But it just happens for you because your friend invited you to play at their wedding. I know, isn't it exciting? For someone, you make dresses and your friend wants you to make her wedding dress. She's maybe a bit of a scene person, like people like her, and she maybe posts a lot on social media. She's going to post the wedding dress and you're tagged and your design company is tagged. And all of a sudden you've got like 99 brides per week contacting you like, oh my God, will you make my dress? Will you make my dress? Will you make my dress? And it seems like you've got a thing that develops. It's like a business that creates more business for you. Or one customer who creates more customers. And I also do want to say again, like multi-channel, something's coming through about multi-channel marketing. It's like multiple streams of income as well that's coming through for somebody. And you might do one thing, but you find that it's actually allowing you to branch out into different areas. Yeah, it seems really exciting, and I feel like there's so much to tell you that it needs to be paused for now. But there's a lot of different expensive things that are coming to somebody because you're maybe going to find that you have a partner who's really spoiling you. And it's so much, it's like you're just not going to know how special life could feel. I'm seeing like little drips of gold. It's like gold flakes that are just like dripping around somebody. And I feel like it's like a gift from somebody, like they want to do something special for somebody. I'm hearing for somebody it's something like, say if you were making a tarot deck and you were taking it to the printers and you didn't want to pay for like gilded edges or gold foil or something, but they're like, oh, this is so nice. Do you know what would make this even nicer? Gold foil, gilding. You're like, oh, I know, I would love that, but I just can't afford it. They're going to be like, well, since I like your product, and I'm sure this is going to be a very big seller, I'm just going to do it for you for free. Is that okay? Like, it's for free, and I just know this is going to be really popular. I can tell, oh, I already want one. Oh, I'm buying one already. Can I put an extra order in for me? Thanks. It feels really cool, like you're doing something, and it's made more special by somebody else. And for someone who's a musician and you're like specially talented, I do feel like there may be some people who want to work with you and you just happen to meet them. It's like you're just doing your normal thing and someone DMs you and it's like, hey, I would love to collaborate with you. My name's so-and-so, and you're thinking, what? Why would you say your name? Like, you're already really talented. I know you. Of course I know you. Like, God, I'm a huge fan already. Why would you? You don't need to say it's so-and-so. And they're communicating with you like, hey, I love your work. Would you mind singing backing vocals on my next track? Or would you write a hook for me? Would you like put a chorus on my song? Would you give me a verse? Would you play guitar for my band next weekend because the guitar is cancelled? It's something like that, and it's really exciting, and it might come through word of mouth. Like, you might just hear about an opportunity that's going from somebody you know, maybe a friend. They're like, by the way, I've just been like in contact with so and so recently, and they're really looking for somebody who can make 100 bouquets of roses for their wedding next week. I was just wondering, since you're a florist, are you free? Because, like, yeah, it's my friend of a friend, and they're like really stressed. They just don't know how to get flowers for their wedding. You're going to be like, absolutely, I can, of course, help you. And of course, they're going to be really grateful, and they're going to pay you money. And other people are going to say, hey, who did these great flowers? I love these flowers. They're so great. So yeah, you might get invited to a wedding soon, and I feel like there's a good opportunity. With regards to going to a wedding, like, you might meet your own love of your life at this person's wedding. And I do feel like someone might meet their love of their life soon, and they're a hero for you. Like, they help you in so many ways. You didn't know how much better your life could be because of them. And if you are in a relationship, your partner seems to be doing something that's like heroic in your life. It could just be offering to like buy the food all the time, or cooking for you every day, or taking you to work. But it feels like a huge deal for you. Like, it makes your life so much better. And it's something to feel really grateful for. You should definitely express your gratitude when this thing comes. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. And if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Four of Swords. If you chose the Four of Swords, it feels like you deserve sleep. You deserve sleep. You deserve sleep so much. It feels like you're going to feel amazing after you get your sleep as well. I know you have loads of decisions to make. I know you have loads to think about. I know you have problems. I know you have things to stress about. But they can all wait until you sleep. And I feel like sleeping on the decisions and the problems will help the solutions to come. Even while you dream, your subconscious is really working on the problems. And actually, if you turn off your conscious mind, your subconscious is very clever, and your subconscious is finding the solution to all your problems. And it's coming to you without you thinking or trying. Even if you just turn your mind off and meditate and lie down in your bed, you're going to find that things come to you. It doesn't have to be through a dream. You're going to find that things come to you in your mind that are like, oh yeah, that's helpful. What about that? I could do that. Maybe that's helpful. So just try and relax and don't worry. It feels like the more you relax and don't worry and sleep, the more you're going to find solutions to your problems present themselves to you. And it feels like the problems are getting urgent for you, but also they're kind of coming together in a way where there's like a one solution that's for all of them. But it's not really yet. It's like they need to come all together. I know it sounds really weird, but hopefully if it's your message, it resonates with you and you get what I'm saying. But yeah, they need to all be kind of grouped for you to be able to... It's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone kind of energy. Like, all the birds are lined up. They're not all in different areas, so you have to like go and run at them. It's like all of the things to do in one direction. So it feels really nice and simple for you once you can rest and return yourself to a state of feeling rejuvenated and calm, and not really stressed and not really highly strung. Not feel like you have to run around everywhere. It's better for you to just sit still. Don't waste any of your physical energy right now. It feels like you have to retain all of that so that you can manage your mind and what's going on with decisions you have to make. Even if your life's really boring right now and you don't have any stress, you don't have any decisions to make, it still feels like just good for you to rest and just do nothing. It's good for you to just do nothing and save your energy. For somebody, you might have some important... It's an important memory or an important view of... It's like a sibling and a parent. I'm seeing it's like someone's mother and sibling. And there's something coming through about like pulling the curtain on it. Like maybe you need to shut out people. I'm not sure if someone's living with their mum and sibling, and you're maybe like in your 20s still. You're not like 30 like my age, but you're kind of like old enough to be moving out, but also young enough that it's socially acceptable for you to still live with your mum. That's the kind of thing I'm seeing. Like, it is socially acceptable. People your age live with their mum. But for you, it's not okay. Like, you just feel really drained all the time. Like, you're trying to get privacy in your room. You're trying to think about what you're going to do to... I'm hearing to end the war, that there's a war going on outside and you don't know how to war with people. And you need to get out of your mum's house or get away from your mum and your sister. Is your sister for somebody? It's like maybe you have an enemy outside. You might have an op, like someone who wants to harm you. And they've maybe made a threat towards your mum and your sister. This is really specific, and it's good for you to try and either like lay low and make it seem like you're not even there, or get out of there so that there's not attention on your family. And I feel like also it might be good for someone where they're just nosy, like there's not any risk of them being in danger because of you. It's more like they're just nosy and annoying, and they're always like coming into your room and talking to you, and you can't really get any sleep and you can't focus. Like maybe you can always hear a baby crying, like your mum's just had a small child. It's time for you to move out actually, but I feel like you're not ready. You need to save money. You might have to stop things like going out and partying and just relax and try and save up everything you can. So yeah, I feel like it is for most people just a time to relax and a time to not pick up on fixing your problems right now, but kind of just take the moment to lie down and rest and heal, because it feels like the problems are going to come back up tomorrow, but there's nothing you can do right now today to solve them, except maybe think and reflect and try and find the answers that you need to find. You might find them through daydream or through sleeping. It seems like you're less likely to find them with communication from others, like it's not really as important. But you might be able to see what you need to see about others from a distance. Like you don't even need to speak to them, it's more like remember them. Or just notice them, pay attention to them. Anyway, it really feels like you're so tired that you just need to go to sleep. So I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope you rest very well. Hope you have a good sleep. Don't overdo it. Don't try and push yourself to do anything. But yeah, I wish you the best if you need to sort out like, like street wars or something like that. Just try and stay safe for now. I'm sorry. But I do hope you're well. If you like a personal reading, you can come for a personal reading. The information will be below. I do feel like someone's a bit... like you're not ill, but you just have really high stress and anxiety, almost to the point where it's like panic attacks. And I'm not thinking it's invisible enemies. It's not like panic for panic's sake. It's more like your life's really that stressful. But I do feel like the more you get stressed, the less easy it is to fix the problems. Try and take some deep breaths. It's really good. Try and take some really, really, really deep breaths. Rest in your bed, and I do feel like your strength is going to come back. I want to say soldier, whoever needs to be called soldier. Your strength is going to come back in like 3 days. You might be like an injured soldier right now and you're not ready to go back to the battle. I'm sorry, it's like so stressful for whoever this is. It's really serious. It's like you can't go to the party, you can't hang out with friends, and you can't really even tell people what you're going through. It feels like your words are getting stuck in your throat. And you might almost feel like you're going to vomit, but it's like, it's not a good feeling. I'm hoping you're going to manage to get some sleep and meditate, and the problem solutions will make themselves clear. As long as you can just try and get away from it. I want to say for 3 days, specifically 3 days, away from your problems. For someone, it's even like 3 minutes or 3 hours. But yeah, the longer you can go without actually actively thinking about the problem and just let it be in your back of your mind, the better it will be and the more quickly you're going to solve your problem. So I wish you the best. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment, let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. And if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be below. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This is your reading if you chose the 8 of Wands. And if you chose the 8 of Wands, everything can get on very quickly if you just put your mind to it. I want to say good morning, good day, and it's time to have a very good day. It feels like your day can go really quickly and really smooth, and it's like time passes quickly when you're having fun. Or when you're busy and I just feel like you have so many things to do that it's kind of funny that you're watching this reading and I feel like I need to go quick because you need to speed off and go and do what you need to do. somebody that's like a driving job or a job that involves travel that you need to do. And it's involving being very quick, like you have to go from one place to another very quickly. And it's almost like you're being a runner for somebody, like you have to keep going in the car. Maybe it's delivery driving or getting people's groceries or doing deliveries and you have to be on time. But yeah, I'm feeling it's going very quickly for you and it's a good job for you if you're doing something like that. It's going to be quick money, like you can get money very quickly. Like maybe you just asked, are you free right now? And then you go to somebody and you get like £20 or something. And then you just go off and go back to what you were doing. For someone, it's like being a removal van driver and you're going to do like people's house moves and it's really quick. Like actually it's just quite quick for you and you get quite a lot of money. Maybe it's like $150 every time you move someone's house and it only takes you like 1 to 2 hours and that's $150 and it's just lots of like walking around making trips between the house and the car. I do feel like someone's moving and you need to be told that don't worry, you can move quicker than you think. Like you could find a place tomorrow that's available immediately and you could just go and move your stuff in like tomorrow. Actually, like once you pay the deposit or the costs or whatever, it will fly past. It's going to go so quickly and there is really a lot for you to do. And I feel like once you're in the right mood, once you're well rested, once you've had some food, once you've got dressed for the day, it's time for you to just get on and run your errands and do it as quickly as you can. You'd be surprised about how much you can get done. I honestly feel like for someone there's like an 8 days worth of it's 8 days worth of work that you've got to do, but you can do it in one day. And for someone, you might even be able to do it in like 1 hour, or you can do 8 hours worth of work in 1 hour, just because you're in the mood and you're working very productively and you're very efficient and you're very quick. So I feel like you can maybe maximize your potential right now and you can get to things quicker than you think. Like I feel like for someone, there's a method of transport you can take that's really quick. It's like a quick train. And if you get that quick train, it's a lot quicker than going on like the slow train. And I do feel like there's method to someone's madness. Like you seem mad to yourself even, but I feel like there's secretly like chaos. Not as much as there's order is what I'm hearing. Like order is actually taking precedence over chaos, but your process of making order looks like chaos. And it's actually good because you're lining everything up the way you need it lined up. And for someone, it is like moving house. Like you are moving house tomorrow. You still haven't packed and you're not even dressed and you're still in your underwear and you don't know where you're going to move. And honestly, it's all going to come together, but I don't know how it's going to come together. You might just go on holiday. You might just think, fuck it, I'm going on holiday. I can't be bothered. Like maybe you just don't need to worry. But yeah, it seems like there's a rush and the rush process is really important. It's like exciting for you some reason. You've left it till the last minute because it's more fun. Or you like rushing and challenging yourself and seeing how much you can get done in a day. For someone, I'm hearing you're like a painter, or you do something like making men's clothes or something, like you make t-shirt, and you want to set yourself a challenge of like, what is the quickest I can do this men's t-shirt, like without taking any breaks? And you find that it's actually like 20 minutes, and then you might think, how many can I do in an 8-hour day? And I feel like when you realize how many you can do, you're going to calculate how much money you can earn per day, and it's hilarious. It's like you're laughing about how much money you can make if you just work really quickly. And I do feel like there's something coming through about driving and a driving job that's really important for somebody, or also like someone who's a removal van man or a removal van driver. It seems like you maybe be able to help a friend or something. It's like a friend who wants to move house. Maybe you don't actually work in removals, but one of your friends needs to move house. And they would pay you money, like whatever they would pay the removal company, because they trust you more and they would find you a bit more fun to hang out with for a few hours to do the removal. So they'd rather pay you. And I feel like it might turn into a thing where you're like, why don't I just do this? Because this is a good business. So I feel like there's some sparking off of ideas that can happen. And I also feel like there's passion and motivation that's brewing within you that lets you go and run at your problems and lets you go and get things done quicker than you would otherwise. And I'm feeling like there's some travel plans maybe coming up, or you can maybe try and make travel plans. I'm feeling someone needs to do a try-on haul with some clothes that got delivered. And it's really exciting, and I feel like there may be some packages that you're sending out. Someone might be running like a buying and selling clothes business. And it's really fun, and it feels like it got started really quickly, or it will get started really quickly. It's like, say you just forgot to return all the clothes you were meant to return, and you did a clothes clear out video and you did a try on haul, and you took pictures and you put them on Instagram or on Depop or whatever, and things just sold really quickly. I feel like that can happen for you. And things are just selling like in the same minute that you post it. It feels like you post a product on Depop and it sells immediately, and then you go to the post office and another one sells, and you just keep going, and it feels like you're just like constantly driving to the post office for somebody and like driving to customers and doing deliveries. And I do feel like if you have a business, there's lots of customers coming and they're going to be having different requests. Like there's one that's going to be like a quick one that's maybe like, say you were doing removals, might be someone who's in your neighborhood and it's like today, and it takes you 20 minutes because they've only got like one bedroom full of stuff and it was a furnished bedroom. They moved in with one suitcase of clothes. So it's really just like them and their suitcase and like one box of other stuff, and too much for them to go on the train or get a taxi, but enough for them to call you, and not enough for you to feel like it's 10 trips. It's like 3 trips between their house and the car, and then the drive is like 20 minutes away. Then you just do 3 more trips and you're done, and that's your money. And it feels really exciting for you because it gets you into the swing of things, or back into the swing of things. And you don't have to be a removal driver or anything, but whatever business you have, it does feel like there's something really quick that you can do. It just gets you back in the swing of it, and then you start to get more complicated jobs, more long jobs, more long days. Like I feel someone can do a short day to just make them feel comfortable. It's like just 1 hour, and I feel like there may be communication a lot. Like you might have a job that's maybe asking like, is anyone available? Is anyone available? Is anyone available? And maybe you just decide that you are available at short notice and say, yeah, I'm available right now, actually. Yeah, I can do that for you right now. It feels like that's the best way for you to maybe pick up extra tasks. It's like you just think about it and realize, well, there's no better time than right now, and there's no procrastination for you right now. It's like you just get on with things. You don't say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later. Even if you only have 10 minutes and it takes 20, feels like you can at least do 10 minutes worth. It's not like, say for example, maybe if it's like cooking is going to take you 20 minutes, and after 10 minutes you would just have like a, I don't know, like half cooked chicken. That might not be worth it, but if it's like 10 minutes to marinate the chicken, and then you're just leaving it in the fridge for ages, and then you've got like another 10 minutes of like marinating another vegetable, that's the kind of thing where you can just do 10 minutes right now and then say, I'm not going to do it, and then 10 minutes later you come back and do more. So try and really, really, really maximize your time right now. There's no excuse for not using your time well. Feels like you can like quickly, I'm hearing for someone, they can quickly check their emails while they're brushing their teeth in the morning, like multitasking. And they can read a book while they're cooking, and they can look at new jobs to apply for while they're on their way to their current job, or while they're even on their lunch break ordering food, like trying to order in a Starbucks. You can be like applying for new jobs on your phone. You may even be able to order your Starbucks to your desk. Like think smart and try and save yourself any minute that you have. Even if that means you get a delivery, like that feels really important right now. Like don't go yourself, try and get deliveries, try and get everything delivered to you. If you can get things collected from your house, it might be nice, but it also might be just nice to go and do it yourself. Like quickly just go out and do it. And if deliveries mean that you're waiting in all day for a delivery, then it's better to go and collect it instead, because you don't have time. You just don't have time to waste right now. Stop wasting your time, get on with it, whatever you've got to do. And know that it's all going to be really smooth sailing once you just get on with it. It feels like you're going to be like a whirlwind. I'm seeing somebody who's like a whirlwind of energy. And you just run around and you go here and there and you do this and that. And before you know it, you've transformed your whole life. You've done so much in a day that it's to be proud of, actually. Like you should be so proud once you get this stuff done. And I honestly just feel like it's a rush for you and it's urgent. It's like there's something that needs your attention so quickly. And it's going to be a big set of skills that you have to use to get this done. But you won't notice because it just feels like natural and normal. It feels like what you have to do today. It feels like what you're in the mood to do today. And I feel like for someone, there's encouragement of you saying no to, I'm hearing like say no to money worries and say no to problems with transport, and just decide you're going to get it done. Like just decide whatever happens, you know you're going to be able to manage it. You know you're going to figure it out. You know you can get it done quickly. You know that you can find a job tomorrow that pays you the next day or something like that. It just feels like you can do it and you can do it really quickly. And it all happens quicker than you think. And also, I want to say there's someone who's got a love interest or someone to communicate with or friends to communicate with. And it feels important to reply really quickly and try and, as soon as you see their name on your phone or as soon as you see the group chat has any messages, it feels really important to get in there really quickly. Even if you don't make the messages as long as they usually are, or the phone calls, if it's like a really short phone call, it's better than not answering or trying to answer later. Even if you say, hi, I'm so busy right now, but I'd love to talk really quickly, like we can have a quick chat, instead of just not answering. It feels really important, you have a lot to do. So get on with it, and I hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. Also, if you like a personal reading, it seems like you're too busy, but if you have time for a personal reading, then get in touch. My email address will be below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Judgment card. If you chose the Judgment card, you also have the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. Feels really exciting news to tell you. That's to do with something that's very long lasting and stable that you have going on with someone else. It feels like a long-term relationship. It feels like this person's maybe been waiting for you to call them. Or maybe you've been waiting for this person to call you. Or maybe you've been waiting to meet the love of your life for a long time for somebody. Maybe you're really single. It feels like the day is coming where you communicate with this person again, or where the communication gets to like the serious matter, like, will you marry me? Will you move in with me? Can we get back together again? Do you still love me? That's the kind of energy I'm seeing, and it's like really, really, really big moment that happens, I want to say, between you and another person, and it's like a big gift. But I also do feel like for you on your own, let's just ignore the love message for a minute for somebody, because it feels like you have pressing matters that's like, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to afford food? How am I going to this? How am I going to that? And it's like, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, love's nice and all. But I can't even afford to get through tomorrow. So I don't know, like, I just don't know how I'm meant to have energy for relationships. Don't worry, there's some call coming that's really important. It feels like you are waiting for a call. And it's to do with something like a job calling you back, or a customer or something like that. And somebody's going to get in touch, and it's going to be like, excuse me, do you have any time to talk today? Because I just really need something, and I'll pay you this much money if you do this for me. It feels like, yeah, for somebody, it's like you work in a shop. This is very specific. You work in a grocery shop, and you're always too busy, and there are always too many customers. Like always, 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 always. And I feel like you might be able to get a raise if you maybe take charge and just initiate like tidying up the shop less and going and talking to customers more, and maybe trying to help customers a bit more so they're not in other customers' way is coming through. And I feel like there's someone who's like your manager who's going to realize you deserve a promotion for your initiative and your hard work. And I also do feel like there's something coming through about, there's so many messages coming through, there's something coming through about somebody who you want to talk to somebody about something specific, but you maybe don't have their number. Like, you need their number, but you don't have their number. And I feel like you might just happen to stumble across them in real life, and it's just the person you've been wanting to talk to, but you didn't have their number. And it feels really, really, really significant for you. You might have, maybe you used to live with this person, or you have a very long-term, again, like a long-term relationship with this person, a long-term bond. And I'm also feeling like there may be something to do with like food, like you may have fed this person when they were hungry, or they fed you when you were hungry or something. You used to live in the same neighborhood, that's coming through. You lived in the same building, you lived in the same block. I feel like maybe for someone, you and this person both make music, and you feel really significant to each other. And I feel like you were both tired of the same things at the same time. It's like you're both maybe not having enough money and not having enough sleep, and trying to just get through the day, and busking, maybe even you were like busking in the train station together or something like that. And it feels like for you and your friend are going to both get something good happening in your life soon. It might be like one of you already does. If you're both say musicians, I feel like one of your musician friends has got a platform, and maybe you don't. but I feel like your musician friend likes your music and wants to do like a collab with you or something, and it just makes your music on the same platform as your friend. And you end up both getting money, and it's better for both of you because their money increases and your money increases. Also, to the person who's like working in a shop or something, and it's over capacity all the time because there's like too many customers and not enough people working. I feel like you might have a best friend or a partner, maybe it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and they also need a job and you can get them a job in the same place. And it feels really nice because now you get to spend all day together. And now maybe you get to move in together because you both have money. And it does feel like someone's moving in with their partner. That feels like big news. Feels really exciting. And I do feel like there's like a bigger news announcement that will affect you. And other people might be really, really, really annoyed and like, oh, come on, not another thing. But for you, it's like, yes, finally. And it's say like, say you're a parent and lots of people are hardworking taxpayers and they're very sick of like their taxpayers maybe going towards your kids because they didn't have any and they feel like, I don't really see why your kids should get something and I don't get nothing. But I feel like for you, it's going to be like, oh, thank you so much. Now I can afford this for my kid. Like, because you're getting money from someone else's pocket kind of thing. But for loads of people, I feel like there are different things that they might be like, oh, come on. Like, that's not fair, is it? And then another thing where you feel like, thanks, that's just for me. Did you put that in there just for me? It might be something like, say, if you're in a couple and you're going to be moving in together, maybe you get a tax discount or something and you think, yes, I am in a couple and I am moving in with my partner and I do need a tax discount because it is expensive and I can't afford life. Maybe it's like a tax back thing because you're in a couple. I'm hearing for someone you accidentally filed the single person tax return in America. You live in America or somewhere where they do like joint or single tax returns. And you didn't do it with like your partner involved and you and your partner are owed a massive amount of money back. And it's going to be really nice. It's like you get a phone call and it's from the IRS and you feel like, oh my God, the IRS, fuck, did I fuck up on my tax return? Shit, the IRS. And they're like, hello, sir, how are you today? Or hello, madam, how are you today? You're like, I'm fine. You're really nervous. You're like, I'm not sure what's going on. Do I owe them money? They're like, just to let you know, you have a tax refund owed to you of $20,000. Okay, have a good day, sir. And you're thinking, really? Yes, wifey, we got $20,000. It feels really fun for you and your partner coming up and already. And it does feel like there's some important phone call to make. Not sure if you and your partner don't just speak on the phone enough. Maybe you don't, but I do feel like someone you might live far away from your partner. Maybe you live abroad from each other. Feels like you maybe have a plan to move in together or to spend more time together. But right now you're long distance and I feel like there's like a perfect time of day where you can phone each other. And it's really important. I feel like you'll want to answer on the first ring and be like, baby, I'm so happy to hear from you. It's going to be really sweet for your partner because they're also going to be really happy to hear from you. And they're going to phone you at like the same time every day. It feels like every day consistently and it's maybe like 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. or something that works for both of you. There's a very, very, very big blessing coming from you from the divine. It's from the divine to you, but it's also coming from you to the divine. Like I said, it sounds like I said it wrong, but I said it right. It's you're doing something helpful. And for someone, sorry I talked to musicians too much. I talked to too many musicians too much for some people. But yeah, the musicians, I feel like you're doing something. It's like giving. And there's something that the universe finds really helpful. And it's like, say they know more than you know. You're just making music and you don't know how it affects people unless they're at your concert. But what they're doing with it is like using it to help them find love. Because you make like really smooth, romantic R&B. And they fall in love to it and it helps them to like message their partner a romantic text instead of something that's just like, I'm fine, how are you? Like they're romantic when they hear your music. Or your music makes them want to dance and it's the only time they get exercise is when they stand up because music's playing. And you might not know how important it is, but it's like the divine knows. So something you're doing, it doesn't have to be music. It just feels like there's something you're doing and it might be working in a call center. You might just work in a call center. It could be something like emergency services, like when people dial 911 or 999. And I feel like you always pick up really quickly and you're always really serious and you always give them the right advice. And it feels like you're so rewarded because you actually do like the good God's work. You do the good Lord's work and you don't really ask for anything. You just ask, hey, Allah, what should I do? How do I help? Instead of like, what will you do to help me, Allah? It's more like, what should I do to help you? What can I do? Like, you ask them how to help yourself and others. I do feel like you're helping another person. And it might be your partner and you just don't realize how important you are to them. And you are very important to your partner. It feels like you're your partner's wish. There's a specific person who's going to notice you. This message has come up before, but I do feel like you are a woman and this is a male musician. Or he's like a speech giver at your university, or he's like someone who's on a bit of a platform where you look up to him and you hear him speak regularly. You hear him do something like play music or speak, and he's very clever. And I feel like he's going to notice you. And he recognizes you because maybe you've been at his concerts before. But I feel like he's going to kind of notice you in a way that's like, hey, I know you. And he's going to have a really deep conversation with you that's like extremely, extremely incredible. You're just going to wonder why you're so lucky. But I feel like for you, you might know you actually know him. Like maybe you realize you were in kindergarten with him and you just didn't notice. Then you're like, oh my God, you went to my school? Oh my God. And then you're going to realize why he's so like particularly focused on you and why you like him so much and why the conversation is so deep and why the romance is so deep. And it's like a love at first sight moment. And I'm seeing you take each other's hand and you go for a walk and you go and get a meal. It's like pizza or a cake. Or you go on like a tobacco run or something. And then you just sit down and you have a cigarette together or something. Where you like smoke a little pipe together or something. And I feel like you end up with a really, really, really sweet bond. And I do see there's something coming through about you're both in a position where you're asking the Most High, what should you do? Like, what should you do? You don't know. And you don't know what to do about where to live. And you don't know what to do about your friendship circle and like who to date. And you're asking and you're asking and you're asking. And then you find each other and you're the solution for each other. You're the gift for each other. It feels so romantic and beautiful, but it's deeper than just the relationship. Like the relationship is so meaningful and so important. But the rest of your lives come together as a result of you being in each other's lives. That sounds overdramatic, but it is true. It's like you are the perfect match for each other. And you're able to get stability together. And I do see you moving in together really quickly. And falling in love really quickly. And getting married really quickly. And maybe having a baby really quickly. Someone might be pregnant. Congratulations if you're pregnant. Feels like you and your partner have the right kind of bond. And you have the right kind of relationship. So I'm really happy for you. And I feel like there is another message coming through about someone who's going to feel like the lucky chosen one. When someone phoned you this afternoon, and it's about something to do with your work, your life, your family, your budget, your money, or an important message that seems like from the Most High, like it's from the divine. So it's maybe something you received through a reading, or it's a sign or something that you see, but it does feel like you're the lucky chosen one and you're on the right path and you're in alignment. And I feel like you might see double numbers. You might see 2-2. I think 2-2 is the one you're going to see the most. But you might also see sixes and you might see a lot of ones. And it feels really important for you because it's just letting you know that you are on the right track. And it's not like the angel numbers are telling you more than what the readings tell you or your own intuition or people in your life are telling you. But it does feel like a sign, like it's just signful, I want to say, like the things that happen to you right now today. Watch them very closely because I feel like there's something that you do, it's like vacuuming. Just picking up stuff around your house and then you get a reward for doing the right thing and it's like a job that you've applied for phones you back and you're really, really thankful you got the job. And then it feels like there's something else that you're doing that's like cataloguing your old music collection. And you find a CD you thought had lost, you thought you lost it, you thought you dropped it, and you put it on, it's like your favourite song ever, and it reminds you of being in love or something. Then maybe you get a phone call from someone who you do love, and you have a really great date planned for the rest of the day, and it is like rewards that you get for just doing the right thing and listening to the message, and it could be a sign that's just like play music right now. Cook a huge meal right now. Eat this food right now. Call so-and-so right now. And I feel like the more you listen, the more you're going to be rewarded. Anyway, I'm being told that's enough. Don't tell them anymore. Make them come for a personal reading. So if you'd like for a personal reading to tell you more, you are welcome to get in touch. My information will be below. Otherwise, I will see you again soon. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this reading. Leave me a comment and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. This is your reading if you chose the Seven of Swords. And if you chose the Seven of Swords, there's a reason to just try and avoid anything that you can't manage right now. You have permission to put off things till later. You are in a bit of a dangerous position though, so I'm not saying that in a way that's like, oh, later can be never. It's more like tomorrow. Like there's some things you could do today that are on top of what you've already got to do. But it feels like you've got too many things already. Like you've already got so many problems to deal with and so many tasks on your to-do list that there's one or two additional things that you maybe just don't have time for. And it feels good to leave them if they're not like pressing, they're not urgent. You don't have someone threatening you if you don't do it right now immediately. Just don't do it, and I feel like you can be a bit risky with things slightly more, but not too much. Like you can, maybe for example, there might be for someone, you might be able to like pay your rent a bit late. Maybe your landlord's busy dealing with other people who haven't paid for 7 months, and it's like you've just not paid for 1 day. He's not really going to be chasing you maybe for like the next 7 weeks. And you might not realize that, but I feel like it's not like a payment holiday. It's not like you're getting a break. But it's more like you're not really going to have to stress about if you need to pay the phone bill and it's before you get paid. Like you don't get paid till tomorrow and you have to pay the phone bill, they'll cut off your phone. And maybe you need your phone to pay the landlord. Like you don't have internet in your house, so you need the like, yeah, I'm getting the message. You just don't have any internet, you need the data, you can't not pay your phone. If you pay your phone, you can't afford the rent or you can't afford the full amount. And what are you going to do? You're just going to have to wait for payday, which is in like 3 days or tomorrow. And your landlord's not going to mind, but there is like a 3-day window maybe where they need to get the money before you feel bad about it and you start to spend that on other things. So do try and keep on top of things anyway. But I feel like you can maybe be a bit late here and there. You can maybe do like a bad job, worse than you would want to do here and there. Maybe you can rush things here and there. Maybe you can leave it for tomorrow. Maybe you can just tell someone you'll do it later here and there. Just to give yourself enough room and space and time and awareness and focus to finish what you've already promised that you'll finish and to get on with what you've already got to get on with. Because I do feel like you have to do a dance around your deadlines and your responsibilities and your payments. Someone you might be able to ask for a payment holiday from your debt provider or something, like a loan payment holiday or credit card payment holiday. I feel like you may be able to get 2 standing orders or direct debits or payments that you made or you have to make monthly paused for you or stopped for you so you don't have to pay them anymore. It might be something like Amazon Prime or Deliveroo membership or something, or like Uber One that you've got coming out of your direct debits every month, or it's coming out of, it's like a gym membership or a phone insurance for a phone that you don't even have anymore. I feel like there's something, a phone insurance for your phone that you do have that you're really careful with and never even drop. It feels like you can just cancel them, like just cancel them from your bank account. And don't worry, like just cancel your gym membership, cancel that Amazon Prime, cancel that Deliveroos. You need to say no more. Say no to things, and it feels good for you to keep your distance from people. It's good to be kind of aware of what they're doing and what's going on with them, but it feels good for you to more keep your focus on what's right in front of you. Because it feels like other people are just distracting and maybe annoying. And if they notice you too much, they distract you and annoy you even more. So don't try and get attention from them. Try and be unnoticed by them. And try and leave what you have to leave till later. Because the more people notice you, the more stress you have. It's just more to deal with. And I feel like for someone, there may be someone you shouldn't trust in your environment. That's a really obvious message. It just feels like there's someone you shouldn't really trust. But I feel like that's less important to say than the other things. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the message. So just stop it. Just avoid. You need to stop doing so much. You need to try and escape your responsibilities right now. And stop trying to be like in people and annoying people. But anyway, for the rest of you where you have ideas, you might want to not share them. You might just want to stop posting them. You might want to not try and promote your latest single before it's ready to be downloaded or streamed, because someone's just going to steal it and try and put out a copy version of it really quick. So whoever's been stealing, I'm just looking forward to your downfall. It's going to be so funny. I just can't wait. And whoever's just waiting for the moment when you can actually like plug people your things again when they're not like thieving. I feel like the time's coming and there's like 2 months for somebody and there's 2 years for somebody where you can go back to something that you left. Like you left it to the side because you had first of all, you had too many things to do. So you had to be, as like a clever, rational person, you had to say, priorities today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I have to do. 1, 2 things that could wait for the morning. So I will prioritize. And there's 2 things that you just keep saying, well, I'll do that next month. I'll do that next year. I'll do that whenever. I'll do that whenever. Maybe I'll never do that. It feels like those 2 things are the most important things that you could possibly do. But they're also the things that don't need to be done right now. It's just not working for you to try and be someone else, or to try and copy, or to try and steal. So instead, go back to the things that work for you once they work for you again. Like there will be a time and a place. So just park it up until it's time to take it up again. It doesn't really matter. It's like, for someone you might need to leave your car, like it's too expensive. You need to just park it up and stop paying for gas and put it in a garage and stop. I'm hearing for someone as well, you can rent out your garage. Get rid of your car temporarily. You have 2 cars or 6 cars. You can get rid of some of them, and people pay a lot of money for parking, especially in London. If you live in like Manhattan or Manchester, I'm hearing, or London, or somewhere else that's very busy and has a lot of commuters, you might find your parking space is worth like someone's like $1,000 a month just for your parking space, and it's somewhere really nice. It's like near Central Park or something. You have a parking spot, you can rent it to people, and you end up making enough money to pay for your gas if you can't afford to drive your car. So do try and there was one reading where there was a message coming up about paying one credit card with another credit card and doing like balance transfers. I can't remember which reading that was now. Or did I even say it? Sometimes I have so many messages I can't say them all. I have to avoid some and leave them for next time. But for you guys, I feel like that might be helpful advice as well. It's like you can't afford the parking that you have to pay at work, and at home it's free for you, and maybe you can sell your parking spot monthly, rent it for like, I'm hearing like £400 a month. But meanwhile you can find another parking spot that's like £100 a month. And I know I've already said this message, but it's like giving you £300 extra. And I feel like there's loads of different things you can do that with. Like you've got a car. Your car's lovely. It's like a nice estate car. You bought it for about 66,000 or 16,000. And it's still worth quite a lot of money. It's worth like maybe 45,000 if you sell it today. Like if you were to just list it on a car selling website, you might be able to get £45,000 today for that car, and it might save you from all your trying to not pay that right now, trying to leave that for another day. And then you can get this, not the same car, maybe you can get a same car but it's older, it's got like an older reg. Or maybe you can get a different car that's equally good, it's like a nice estate car. But it's like a fraction of the cost, so you spend like 4,000 on this lovely estate car that's like, wow, I got a brand new car. Yay, how exciting. Because maybe you've driven the other one for 6 years anyway. And you got like 30 or 40,000 or something spare because you just decided that you would sell your car and get a different car. So try and think about what you can leave or what you can change, what you can swap. Try and avoid things that are not good for you to be dealing with, like other people who are stupid and annoying. Just try and leave them. Just don't speak to them. Be careful with, I want to say, signing documents and trusting people right now. Like, it's better for you to just get on with what you can get on with by yourself. And if someone offers you help, even just say like, no thanks, I'm okay, I don't need help. Or if someone wants something from you, say, sorry, I can't do that right now. It just feels easier for you to just manage what you can manage. And keep doing the dance that you have to do that's like avoiding so-and-so because you owe them money, and avoiding trying to pay this thing right now because you can't afford that, and paying this one instead. And it feels like you need to be very clever, very logical, and kind of like spell things out for yourself and just don't worry what others are doing. Keep secrets, don't tell other people secrets. Feels like it's just good for you to keep everything shush right now. Don't tell other people your plans. Don't gossip, don't waste time talking, don't waste time doing anything actually, because you still have a lot to get on with even though I'm telling you to procrastinate some things. There's like 17 other things you gotta do, so don't chill too much, but I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be below. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.